a song for ya.
You're listening to Deep Purple Smoke on the Podcast. I will do one episode for each song the band recorded in the studio. However, this is a fan podcast and not band endorsed. It's more of a tribute to their long history, well beyond just the hits, and my way of giving something back to a band that has given so much to me. Let's dig in! Hello and welcome to another episode of Deep Purple Smoke on the Podcast. Actually, not just an episode, a whole new season. Let me tell you what's going on, why it's going on, when it's going on, and have this make sense to somebody besides myself. Okay, so first off, welcome to the new season. I'm going to guess that you're listening to this sometime around mid-May 2026. I'm recording this April 14th, 2025. That's how confident I am in my schedule, but it's all based around the unknown next Deep Purple album. So as I'm recording this, the last thing they've released is Equals One. Yay. Great album. But I know that they're going to have another album out before I reach the end of the podcast, or that would be the anticipation. So assuming that that album has come out, and based on an average of 12 songs, there could be more, could be less, we'll see. The first episode of this should be scheduled for May 8th if there's 12 songs on the new album and it's come out. So that's kind of what I'm basing that date on. Why am I doing this? A couple of reasons. One, my voice has gotten very weak. I don't speak a whole lot aside from podcasting. So I have learned that I've done a lot of damage to my voice by not using it enough. And I realize that at least recording a podcast a day will help greatly with my voice. So I am like a month ahead or 5 weeks ahead actually on podcasts recorded for this show. I'm five or 6 weeks ahead for the Haskincast podcast, leaving me nothing to talk about. So that being the case, I decided, you know what would be a good idea? And I kind of foresaw this possibility, but I think it would be good to do what I did on Uriah Heep, the Magician's podcast, and take all the episodes that I did reviews of with guest hosts and do solo versions of those reviews. Couple of reasons for that. One, we're listening over Zoom. So what you're getting on the recording is that Zoom recording because it's just time consuming, easier for me to break out that way. That being the case, though, we're missing some of the nuances because of the Zoom feed, and even the guest isn't able to hear them. So if I put them back in and, you know, the guest can't hear them, you can't hear them, it's better to do it this way, the way I can do it when I record solo. So again, that being the case, what I decided to do was do a new season with each of those individual reviews. Another benefit to that is that I noticed when I was doing that on Uriah Heep, the Magician's podcast, I also, you know, I'm running the show when I have a guest. So I'm paying attention to different things. I'm doing, not doing the same kind of editing that I do when I do a solo show, which I kind of edit as I go. And then we have the final show. By the time I'm done recording, the show's done. I don't need to edit or anything. I just need to run all the filters, export it, and do all that. So what I found, though, is being in charge of the player, paying attention to the guest, stopping, you know, the song at maybe different times than I would. I'm not giving the song the same 100% treatment that I am when I do it solo. So there are sometimes things that I might hear when I don't have those responsibilities to a guest that I hear by myself. So that's another reason to do a season. Here's the difference. When I was doing the Magician's podcast, I had a whole 10 episodes that I had guest stars on. So it was very easy for me to just go and record 10 shows. As of right now, I have recorded 9 episodes with guests, but have a total of 33 signed up, whether all those recordings happen, whether more people sign up or some get canceled or whatever. I have no idea how many this is going to end up to be. But as of right now, 33. That's a bit of a chunk. That's going to make for a very long season. But, since I'm doing 4 per week, it'll fly by. And I've covered everything up to this point. So unless the band decides to do another album, which, of course, even if they've just put out an album, I'm already going to hope that there's going to be one more. That's just the way I am. Never going to have enough Deep Purple music. So this could be the last season. It may not be the last season. I have absolutely no idea right now. Plus, new album hasn't even come out yet. So that on top of the need to use my voice and just being far too ahead to record episodes for this show or the other show, that's the way it's going to go. But I'm not going to record a solo episode until after I've recorded with the guest. And I'll wait like a week or so before I do that. So far, like I said, I've recorded 9, so I can record 9 episodes of this season now. And I'll probably just be doing that day by day. I've already recorded through Machine Head, except for the episodes that I have guests on. I'm working on getting those scheduled, but I've actually recorded all the solo episodes for Machine Head already. And I was like, well, I could do Woman from Tokyo, but it's like way too early to do that. As of right now, looking 15 months ahead, or 13 months ahead, I'm sorry, I have absolutely no idea what my Patreon account is going to look like. I don't know how many fans of the show I have. I don't know what copyright strikes I'll have. I have no idea what it's going to be like, but I need to use my voice, and this is a great opportunity to do something I was highly considering doing anyway. It worked out really well for the other show, and I think it's going to be fun to revisit this song or these songs by myself. So anyway, long tirade, but that's what's going on. Just so you know when you are, for you it's today, for me it's 13 months ago, and I say let's get into it. So the very first episode that I had with a guest is going all the way back to episode 3. My first show was Welcome to Smoke on the Podcast, because I had to do a feed to get the the RSS feed set up, get it on Apple Podcasts, which is where most people listen. So that's vital. And you want to do that before the launch of the show. So that was the first thing I did. My first review episode was, of course, And the Address, first song on Shades of Deep Purple. But episode 3 was with my good buddy Corey Morrissette from And the Podcast Will Rock, The Ultimate Catalog Clash, The Power of Positive Geeking, and I'm sure by the time this comes out, Rock Court. Maybe another one, who knows? The way Corey is, he might have started a whole nother podcast that I don't even know about by now. Excellent guy, great podcast host, really love podcasting with him. And he was my first guest. We did Hush. We covered the original version from Shades of Deep Purple, which is the first one we're going to do in this episode. Then we're going to go into the studio recording version that they did for Nobody's Perfect. And if you didn't listen to that episode with Corey, I'll just tell you real quick. The reason I included Hush, the newer version, with the original version is because it didn't belong to a proper studio album. So there was nowhere for me to put it as a bonus track. I suppose I could have put it with House of Blue Light because that was the tour they were on, but I didn't think of that. And I thought, I've got Corey on, let's have some fun. Let's cover a couple of versions of this song. So I threw it in with that, which is what I'm going to do right here. It's going to stay the same one episode that it was originally. So let's get into it. Here is the original 1968 studio version of Hush. And to refresh your memory, if you are not familiar, on guitar we have Richie Blackmore, which as I'm recording this, it is his 80th birthday today. Happy birthday, Richie, 13 months ago and a month ago. We have Rod Evans on vocals, Nick Simper on bass, John Lord on keyboards, and Ian Pace on drums. We will have 2 member changes for the newer version. We'll get to that first. Here it is, Hush. So, a quick thing to point out is that we are listening to the remastered edition of Shades of Deep Purple. So it is a little bit better mix. It's got some clarity, more so than the original like Tetragrammaton LP did or the single. I have both, which are really cool because they're in pretty good shape. And I love having the Tetragrammaton collection with the silver label. Really cool. Really just brings me back as far as my childhood goes when I had copies of those. I didn't have the 45 as a kid. I wasn't collecting those, but I have all the Tetragrammaton 45s now, which is super fun. But this is a great opening. We start obviously with the wolf howl. That's fine. And I guess it's kind of primal. You know, this is a song about being in love with somebody. I think when I think of like that wolf howl, I think a little bit more of lust than I do love. Think of like Still of the Night from Whitesnake. You know, in the Still of the Night, I hear the wolf howl, honey, sniffing around your door. But this is a great intro. First, Ian Pace, master of the snare drum, even at 17, I think he was when they recorded this, knew his rudiments very well. And we get some great buzz rolls out of him, great control of the kit. Then, we get those little bits from Richie at the beginning, and then the groove starts. And you've got John Lord being very percussive on the organ, then doing those little sweeps that go up, which I really like, because I think the tendency is to go down instead of up. So I like that he goes up. It's something that's a little bit unexpected, but it flows really well with the song. Then, the groove kicks in. Killer dance groove. I've always loved this sound. It's got such a great feel to it. It's uplifting. It just, it kind of just makes you smile and tap your foot or however you react to music. Some people, obviously, this is a big dance song. This was played a lot in the clubs. It's still played. I would walk down the strip or be in like a Vegas hotel, and I would still hear Hush played every once in a while, which was kind of fun. And it's just a great feeling song. And then great bass line from Nick Simper, and we're off. I'm pretty sure it was on the Tears in My Eyes episode of Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast, where I talked about the na 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 part. And I am not a fan of that. I don't like nonsensical words or things. I'm not a big lyric guy, but at least have lyrics that make sense. And I've never been a fan of this. Of course, this is not an original song. This is a Joe South song that they covered. So I can't blame them for that. But in general, like, this is why I don't like some of the, original Beatles stuff, like when they were Skiffle and all that. Like, She Loves You, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, great. I mean, the songs are fun, but lyrically, like, that's such a turnoff for me personally. In this song, I don't mind it. I actually don't. I think it's fun. It's nonsensical, but it works for the song. So I'm okay with it. And those little flourishes from Richie are so much fun. In one of the live versions, I think, and he might have done this more commonly, but I think it was on Powerhouse with Ian Gillan on vocals. When he's doing one of those little flourishes, he actually goes into the pirate theme, which is pretty cool. The sailor theme from Popeye, which I rather enjoyed. He was very, very comical on stage. He could be.
Little girl, she's on my mind. No doubt about it, she looks so fine. She's the best girl that I ever had. Sometimes you're gonna make me feel so bad.
Richie is already so Richie Blackmore on this song. These little flourishes that he's putting in, they're so much fun. And this is something that would be kind of a trademark of his going through his career. And sometimes I forget how early he was actually doing it. But great stuff on this song, just great playing. Really killer vocal performance too from Rod, I have to say. He's really selling the passion on this, which I like. And he's got such a powerful voice for this kind of music. This is really his wheelhouse as far as I'm concerned. He could sing some great songs like Lelania and Blind, do the more gentle stuff as we're about to hear in this song. But yeah, I love his voice for this. Also, one of the things that makes this such a memorable and characteristic song for me is the bell from Ian Pace that we're getting during that na 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 part. There's just something about it that the way it cuts through, the tone of it, that I really like.
Hush, hush, I thought I heard her calling my name now. Hush, hush, she broke my heart, but I love her just same now. Hush, hush, I thought I heard her calling my name now. Hush, hush, I need her loving and I'm not to blame now.
Okay, I'm going to do something completely unprecedented on this show because I'm out of control and there's no one here to stop me. That's the main reason. The second reason is because I'm hearing something really interesting. Listen to the ending of the word hush. Listen to the shush part and listen to the different levels of reverb. Like the first one's got a bigger reverb on it. The second one's a lot drier. The third one, it sounds like they added an extra shush in the right ear. And then the fourth one goes back to being somewhat dry as it leads into the next section. But listen to this. This is really interesting. I've never noticed this before. And again, like, didn't notice it when I was on with Corey, but this is quite fascinating.
Hush, hush, I thought I heard her calling my name now. Hush, hush, she broke my heart, but I love her just same now. Hush, hush, I thought I heard her calling my name now. Hush, hush, I need her loving and I'm not to blame now. You got her early in the morning, you got her late in the evening. Well, I want and need it. Oh, I gotta have it.
Well, I don't know if you guys heard it, but yeah, listening back again, I definitely hear it there. The first hush has a much bigger reverb. The second hush of the first pass, slightly less. So they're already bringing it down a little bit. Then the second pass, the first and second hush, again, a little more reverb in the first one than the second one, but dramatically reduced from the first set. Third set, the first one is pretty dry. The second one has that extra shush in the right ear. That's just weird to me. And then the fourth one is more like the second one where it goes back to being pretty dry and no extra frills. Really interesting. And then we get the backup vocals going, love, love. That's okay. Again, not my favorite thing, but it's not bad. I can listen to it without getting annoyed. It's not something that I could say I would say, oh, this should be in the song. But since it's there and it sounds pretty good, and they're kind of supporting Rod there, and yeah, I'm okay with it. And then I like that because the section, because you get like a little bit freer. Ian Pace can go a little off the hook there. And but then again, they come back, they get ready for verse 2. They have that reunite point, and we're, everything just kind of settles down real quick, and we're getting ready for the second verse.
She got love like quicksand. Only took one touch of her hand. Blow my mind and I'm in so deep that I can't eat y'all and I can't sleep.
Okay, first of all, great groove. We've got John Lord being very staccato and then just throwing in a couple of more sustained notes. Ian Pace, Richie, Nick Simper, just killer groove we've got going. But here's the one part of the song that's always been a little bit unsettling to me. And it's that last line. So the lyric is written as that I can't eat and I can't sleep. But it sounds like Rod is saying, I can't eat y'all and I can't sleep. And that just has never felt right to me. It's a weird line. If he said, I can't eat at all and I can't sleep, I'd be like, yeah, you know what? That makes sense. Love has just completely overcome you. You've lost control of your functions. I get that. But the way he sings it is, I can't eat y'all. That just weird.
loving and I'm not to blame now.
Okay, so that one was a little bit more straightforward. I didn't hear any, crazy reverb changes. Maybe slight differences, but nothing really noteworthy, and definitely no extra audio shushing in my ear.
You got early in the morning, you got late in the evening. Oh, won't need it. Hey, I gotta have it.
What I love about that section more than anything is just Ian Pace absolutely going off. Just so full of energy, so young, but still playing so well and precise. And he's really only been a drummer for a couple of years. He didn't start when he was super young. And I mean, yeah, he got some good experience, but I mean, man, he's got such control over his drum set. And it's just amazing to me how well he plays on this album. And obviously, everything going forward. But it's a great song. It's so well performed by these guys. They've kept up this groove through the different parts, and the song has lost no energy. If you're one who likes to dance, get on the floor and just groove, this is such a great song for that.
I gotta have it.
I mean, what an amazing solo. It's just historic. And thinking about what it must have been like for it to be 1968 and you've got your radio on and this band you've never heard of comes on and you're like, okay, this is pretty cool. Good groove. All right, I like the singer. Yeah, song's kind of fun. And, you get to this and you're like, holy crap, who are these guys? I've got to find out more. How could you not? I mean, that is such an amazing solo. And those last chords, just that da, 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 icing on the cake for me. I've always loved those final notes of this solo. Just amazing. And the energy, the build up through the solo, everybody just keeping the groove, supporting John through this. Absolutely fantastic. And then if you've ever seen the Playboy After Dark video that's readily available on YouTube when they were on doing their first tour in America, I think that was the first thing that they did. And, Richie's giving Hugh Hefner a guitar lesson. They go and they do this song, and John's solo is just as amazing, really killer playing from him. Definitely, as much as I like what everyone else is doing in this song, this solo really makes him the star. What a killer ending to this. I wish I could hear what Richie's doing a little bit better, especially on the first go around. He cut through a little bit more on the last one, but I'd like to hear a little more of what he's doing there. Other than that, yeah, this song is just great. I mean, everyone's on fire. I did say that John Lord was kind of the star of the song only because of the solo, but when you look at the collective of it, everybody's just top of their game performances, really. And again, this is first album, cover song at that. And they had, like a day to record this whole album. So considering that they had to like just play it and get it, I think they did a really, really amazing job capturing the energy that they put into this cover version. Absolutely just, 10 out of 10 for me. And it's weird because in general, this song has elements that I really normally wouldn't like the love part and, the na-na-nas, just not things that I typically find entertaining. But for some reason in this song, I'm okay with them. The song just has such a great feel to it that I don't mind those parts as much. And I think that's the thing. Like if we go back to the comparison I made earlier to the Beatles, She Loves You, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's not entertaining to me. It's a very straightforward song. It's a mid-tempo. There's not a whole lot of energy in it. It doesn't really scream she loves you. Like you don't feel it. Or I don't anyway. With this song, I feel Rod's passion when he's singing the lyrics. I feel very much everybody's like, behind him, just like all excited that he's in love. And that's something I think that makes the rest of it okay because the story is very believable. She loves you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, great. Let's go get a coffee and talk about anything else. It doesn't draw me in the way that this does. I mean, the passion that Rod sings with. So that's how I feel about the original version. Let's go to, I believe it's 1988, and listen to what happened when the band was mixing the live album. They had some equipment in the studio, and they had a fun night, did some jams, and recorded a new version of Hush. Now, the two differences that we have from the original version, besides technology and equipment and all that, we've got Ian Gillan on vocals instead of Rod Evans and Roger Glover on bass instead of Nick Simper. The rest of the band remains the same. So obviously we're not starting with the wolf, we're starting with a rooster, which is a complete change of emotion for me. Definitely not feeling any romantic connection to the sound of the rooster crowing. I feel like I need to get up and plow a field. So that, I get what they were going for. They wanted to throw a nod to the original, but do something completely different. Then they have this sort of liquidy slowing down synthesized sound, which is really weird because again, you wouldn't, you're heating up. Like this is a groove. You want to go into it, not come down from it before it even starts. So very weird beginning. Of course, this is now, Perfect Strangers, House of Blue Light era. So the style of the band is completely different. Ian Pace's drumming at this point is far more straightforward than it was in 1968. And we'll talk about, we would have talked about that on the Perfect Strangers episode, if I remember to talk about it on the Perfect Strangers episode or that season. So there's a lot of differences in the band. Richie's style has changed quite a bit since 1968. So we're getting a completely different song. Also, Roger plays the groove a little bit differently too, which I think still works though. Obviously, the mix is completely different from the last one. We're still getting a lot of hi-hat. I didn't mention that in the other review, but we're getting a lot of hi-hat from Ian Pace. Roger is really on top in this mix, and you really almost hear the pick scraping across the strings. The bass is really heavy sounding, and I like that. But one thing they've done is they've changed the arrangement. They've skipped the opening na-na-nas.
She looks so fine, the best girl that I ever had. She's gonna make me feel so bad. Yeah, make me feel so bad. She got love.
Interesting. They skipped all the parts, and we're just going straight into the second verse here. This song is a little bit shorter. It's only 3:34, probably 4 seconds or so for silence. So figure about 3:40 or 3:30. I'm sorry, but yeah, interesting. Like the arrangement is completely different. Also, I feel like Ian Gillan's got a completely different take on this from Rod, where Rod was singing from a more romantic perspective, and I think Ian's singing from more of just an excitement.
She got love like quicksand. Only tickle touch my hand. Blow my mind and I'm in so deep. Can't hear it. I can't sleep.
So a couple things here. One, Ian changed the words a little bit. So in the original versions, it's only took one touch of her hand to blow my mind. In this case, it's Ian's own hand that's doing that. So that's a little bit weird. And then obviously he sings the discrepancy line that I had an issue with in the original version, much more straightforward and much clearer. Also sings it twice with just that humongous voice that he's got. Really, really cool, actually. I like the pronunciation better. It's cleaner here. But yeah, a completely different take on the vocal style. Yeah, even Richie is playing this completely different than he did in the original version. We're getting just different fill-ins from him, and those I really like in this song. The song feels kind of weird. It's almost a little too straightforward for me, but I do like these little things that we're getting from Richie. I'm also really missing Ian Pace's playing from the first version. This is, like I said, straightforward, but from the drums, it's very little fills. It's I don't feel the excitement except for in the lyrics or in the vocals that I did in the first one. And granted, it's a different band, it's a different time and all that. And they're not being serious. They're just kind of having fun with this and decided to throw it on the live album. I get that. But just listening to what we're given here, yeah, I'm not liking this as much as the original.
She took my heart, but I love her just the same now. Hush. Thought I heard her call my name now. Hush, hush. I need her loving, but I'm not to blame now.
Yeah, this is a little bit weird. I don't mind the way that Ian's singing it. That's fine, but it doesn't. It just doesn't have any emotion in it for me. You know, I'm not feeling that passion. I'm feeling Ian's just kind of singing it. And then I'm not sure why this organ is so loud, why it's so high over top of all the other instruments. That's a little bit weird. It's also interesting that it's a really clean sound. We're not getting the distortion that we normally do from the Beast. Just different, you know, nothing wrong with it, just different. So we get the solo from Richie. We get the solo on harmonica from Ian Gillan. They're fine. You know, they're nice solos. They fit the style of the song. But without the organ solo and that big crescendo at the end, I'm not feeling it. There's no buildup. There's no excitement in it. It's just, you play something, I'll play something. We'll see you on the other side. Not really any passion or energy in this to me.
Hush, I thought I heard her calling my name now. Hush, she broke my heart, but I love her just the same now. Hush.
Wow, I didn't really notice this earlier, but listen to how much reverb there is on that snare.
I thought I heard her calling my name now. Hush, hush. I need her loving, but I'm not to blame now. I got her early in the morning, late in the evening.
Okay, so there we have the 1988 version of Hush. Yeah, I remember enjoying it when it first came out and being really excited that they had done a new version. And it's not bad. I mean, as it stands on its own, it's okay. But when you hear it, the original version, or when you even see them doing it live, which they continue to do to this day, those versions are just all better. They have that build, the energy, the keyboard solo, the passion in them. I just don't feel anything much with this one. The solos are nice. Richie's fill-ins are nice. There is some good fills from Ian Pace here. Roger does a great job with the groove. I love the bass sound. But overall, I don't know. Maybe part of it too is the arrangement, but I don't think so. I think it's just the way it's done. Very much like hey, let's just, I don't know, let's record Hush. And they weren't very serious about it, but I don't know. It just doesn't do a whole lot for me. And then the fart or armpit sound at the end is just like, come on. It's like the lowest form of thing that you can put in a piece of entertainment as far as I'm concerned. I've never been a big fan of dick and fart jokes. To me, it's just, you're really appealing to just the lowest common denominator. And I think this band is a lot better than that. So it's disappointing that they would put that in a song and leave it in the actual recording and release it that way. But I mean, it's okay. I much prefer the original version. Or, and you guys know I'm not much of a live music guy. As far as recordings go, but I would say listen to, any version that you've heard over the last, 2 or 3 tours. They put a lot of energy into it. It's a lot of fun and, kind of going more off the original. So anyway, that is Hush. That is a wrap on our first song for what I expect to be season 26. The only way this won't be season 26 is if either the new album hasn't come out or they put out 2 new albums before I get to this, which, you know what? It's Deep Purple. You never know what's going to happen. Hope you guys have enjoyed this solo review. There are plenty more to come as I continue through the rest of this podcast. This may or may not be the last season. Time will tell. And as I'm recording this in April of 2025, I have absolutely no idea where this is going to go. So I'll be excited to see as it all unfolds. You guys have a great day. Thanks for listening to another episode of Deep Purple Smoke on the Podcast. Cheers. Thanks for listening to Deep Purple Smoke on the Podcast, a tour of the entire Deep Purple studio recordings. Please remember to give the show a rating on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening. Leave a comment and tell your friends. I also have a Patreon set up if you'd like to support the show. You can also write to me at smokeonthepodcast@gmail.com. I hope you enjoyed the episode and thanks for listening.